Welcome to this edition of Behind the Badge. I'm Christy Hopkins, Director of Media and Public Relations for the Harford County Sheriff's Office. With school back in session and the holiday season upon us, our deputies are hard at work making sure our Harford County families can safely enjoy the season. We've got lots of tips to help you do that. We'll tell you how to protect your holiday package deliveries from those porch pirates so the Grinches don't spoil your holiday spirit. We'll introduce you to our new traffic unit supervisor, who's using social media to get traffic safety messages out to the public. We'll take you to our practice session of our Honor Guard bagpipe detachment. We'll give you some tips on how pedestrians can stay safe on Harford County roads and sidewalks. And what would be the holiday season without our annual Christmas drive? We'll tell you how you can make this holiday season happier for all of our county residents. But first, our Sheriff's Office K-9 unit has a new addition. His short legs, long ears, and great nose are helping him and our deputies sniff out crime and locate lost residents. Let's meet K-9 Grady.
Hi, I'm Senior Deputy Charlie Holthouse with the Harford County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit, and today I'd like to introduce our newest crime fighting tool, K-9 Grady, who is a 16-month-old bloodhound. Grady's utilized for locating missing children, Alzheimer's, dementia patients, and he's also actually used for criminal tracks. Grady's means of identifying his target on a trail is to jump up on him, and at the very best you may get licked. Grady will not bite you. The bloodhound is specifically bred for man trailing. There are certain aspects of their physique that actually help them to track. Their ears, being as long as they are, kind of act like little brooms that sweep up the scent off the ground as they're tracking. The folds in their skin will hold the scent so that they have a constant reminder of what it is that they're looking for. The one unique factor with bloodhounds is that they can scent discriminate. They can be scented on a specific scent and they will track that scent only. They can actually determine at the end of a track out of a group of people who it is that they were tracking to get to that point and identify them by jumping up on them. Grady is a product of Litchfield, Kentucky. He came from Bluegrass Bloodhounds. So we completed approximately a 4-month training program with Baltimore County Police Department under their direction for Grady's initial training, and then actually certified with the Charles County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit. Grady is extremely playful. He's basically a big goof. He loves to play. He's very animated. He is a handful to take care of. He's very strong, very deceptively strong. Grady has shown great potential as only being 16 months old. His abilities far exceed what I expected at this point in time. So hopefully we can continue to develop and he will become a very valuable asset to the unit and the agency as a whole.
But Grady isn't the only K-9 who's keeping Harford County citizens safe and secure. Let's meet the other members of the Harford County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit.
I'm Corporal Marty Hopper with the Harford County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit. I'm the unit supervisor. Prior to being a supervisor, I was a handler for 13 years. So the unit was started in 1965 with the first handlers being Hood Bowman and Roy Clark and their dogs Deacon and Devil. Currently the unit consists of 5 handlers with 6 dogs. We have 5 patrol dogs that are dual purpose, and 1 handler has 2 dogs, a lab and a bloodhound. They're single purpose dogs.
Yes!
Outside of the K-9 unit, the Harford County Sheriff's Office also has K-9s assigned to other units. These have included a single-purpose narcotics detection K-9 at our task force, a dual-purpose narcotics detection and patrol K-9 at our detention center, and the first in Maryland, electronic storage detection and comfort therapy dogs assigned to our Child Advocacy Center. When we select the dogs that are patrol dogs, we go to a vendor and they come from Europe. The cost for the dogs right now is $8,000. At $8,000, we either buy them with seized drug money or we buy them with a grant. When we go to pick them out, we put them through a series of tests. It was kind of like when I was hired to work for the Sheriff's Office. I got put through a series of tests, the same with the dogs. So we put them through a series of tests. The test includes how well their nose works, how well they're able to bite and hang onto a sleeve. We test them for their courage, and we also test them for sociability. because we have to take these dogs out in public and around other coworkers. We want them to be social. We want them to spend time with us and be around us. Once they get through that series of tests, then we take them to a vet where they go for a physical. At $8,000, there's 2 guarantees that come with it. One guarantee is that they'll pass any school we put them through, and they're also a year's worth of health guaranteed. Once they make it through all the tests, then we go ahead and start school. Included in a 14-week patrol school is obedience, agility, building searches, tracking, apprehension, and article searches. Once they get through the 14-week patrol school, typically they hit the road for about 6 months, and then they go to a detection school. They're either detection for narcotics or explosives. The main reason we use our dogs is because of their noses. The way that the dog's nose works is a lot different than a human's. The dog is able to smell an odor amongst many different odors. Typically, when we do narcotics detection work, we scan vehicles. We all know how many odors are in a vehicle. Well, the dog's able to pinpoint that there are narcotics inside that vehicle despite all the other smells. Best way to describe it is kind of like pizza. If somebody's making pizza in a kitchen or a restaurant, as humans, we just smell pizza. Our canine partners are able to smell the difference between the cheese, the dough, the sauce. They can even detect the odor of the person that made the pizza. The other good thing with our dogs is they're able to detect the odor of narcotics or explosives that may have been there at one time but have been removed. The way we describe that is microwave popcorn. If you're in your kitchen, you make microwave popcorn, you eat all of it, you leave, you come back an hour later, you can still detect the odor of the popcorn. Even though the popcorn's gone, the odor's still there, you're still able to smell it. After both schools are complete, our training doesn't end there. We attend 2 days a month of retraining. It's kind of the equivalent of a professional athlete. Even though they're the best in the business, they still have to practice. The same goes for our dogs. During our retraining, we sharpen the dog's skills. We put them through scenarios, and anytime we have an issue when we're actually working the road, we'll recreate that so that we can see how they react and adjust their behavior.
No! Heel! Heel! Girl. That's a girl. Good girl.
At the end of the workday, our dogs go home with us. They live at our house and are part of our family. They act like regular dogs and they play with our kids. The minute we start putting our uniform on, they know it's time to go to work. They get very excited. We as handlers like to have our days off. Our dogs would prefer to work every day of the week. Having a police canine is difficult to have as a pet at times because of the fact that they have such a high drive and all they want to do is play with toys. Through the course of my 13 years, I don't think there's a TV show I've watched without having 1 or 2 toys dropped in my lap. The average working life for a police canine is 7 to 10 years, and it all depends upon their health. Upon their retirement, they're signed over to the handler and they become their responsibility, and they live their retirement life with the handler. If you ever see us out working with our canine partners, please don't approach us or try to pet them. They don't always necessarily know whether you're the good guy or the bad guy, and we don't want them to mistake you for being the bad guy. Always ask permission before you come up and try to pet one of our dogs. I hope this was able to teach you a lot about the canine unit. Now, meet our dogs.
Don't go any further. Don't go any further. Stop! Stop! Heel!
day.
Maryland residents and visitors now have the option to text 911 if they are unable to place a phone call.
To send a text, enter 911 in the to line.
In your message, include the location of your emergency and the type of help needed.
Si el servicio de enviar mensajes de texto al 911 no está disponible o no es ofrecido en su área, usted recibirá un mensaje diciéndole que contacte al 911 por teléfono o por TTY.
911. Call if you can, text if you can.
It's estimated that 1 in 5 Americans have become victims of porch pirates, thieves that scan neighborhoods for packages left on porches. But there are ways to thwart these thieves. Let's find out how.
With the holiday season upon us, that means a lot more packages delivered to our homes. That also creates a lot more opportunities for thieves to come out and steal your packages. I'm Senior Deputy Jolene Niles with the Harford County Sheriff's Office Community Policing Unit. I'm here to talk to you about a few tips and ways to protect yourselves. Criminals are always looking for an easy score. One of the ways they do this is drive around neighborhoods and see which homes have packages sitting out. Some people refer to these people as porch pirates. Here's a few tips to keep your stuff safe. The best thing that you can do is, as soon as your package is delivered, bring it indoors. If you're not going to be home, ask a neighbor or a friend to see if they can retrieve the package for you. If you live in an apartment complex, many times the rental office will accept and hold your delivery for you. You can also leave instructions for where you'd like your package delivered, such as behind a large plant or behind a gate. That way it's out of sight from criminals. Some companies offer lockers where you can have your package delivered to. You can also manage your delivery times and request a signature. Some companies sell lock boxes and protective bags. That way, when your package is delivered, they can be placed inside these bags or boxes and locked until you're able to get home to retrieve your package. There are also smart devices out there. The package can be left on. If an unauthorized person removes the package, it will sound an alarm to your phone and you will receive notification. You can also purchase mailbox sensors, and that'll just let you know if your mailbox has been opened. And finally, there are video doorbells and home security systems with cameras that you could purchase. That way, if somebody does come up on your porch, you can speak through that system, and if they do take your package, you can provide that to the police. If you follow a few of these simple tips, hopefully you'll have a safe and happy holiday season.
A car crash at any time of year is a difficult and often costly setback. So keeping Harford County roadways safe is the best way to prevent this kind of danger. That's the job of our Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit, headed by our new supervisor, Sergeant Jerry Eaton.
In 2020, there were over 2,800 car crashes in Harford County. Hi, I'm Sergeant Jerry Eaton, and I'm the new supervisor of the Harford County Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit. One of the main functions of my job is to help keep Harford County roadways safe. The traffic unit consists of 5 sworn deputies and 1 civilian employee, and our job encompasses everything traffic related in Harford County. We handle all serious and fatal car crashes on county roads. We assist other agencies with their crash investigations. We perform commercial motor vehicle inspections, we do taxi cab inspections, we certify and run radar and laser in problem areas, and we work directly with County DPW to help keep our roadways safe. And this is just scratching the surface of some of the things that we do. I've been a deputy with the Sheriff's Office for almost 20 years, and I've spent most of that time dedicated to enforcing traffic laws, stopping cars and arresting DUI drivers. When I first got promoted to corporal, I went to the traffic unit before leaving for a patrol shift and then coming back now as a sergeant. One of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to traffic laws is people not wearing their seatbelt. Maryland has a 91.4% seatbelt usage rate, but it's those few that still don't wear them that I look for in sight as often as I can. Morning, ma'am. I'm Sergeant Eaton with the traffic unit. Need to let you know the stop's being audio and visually recorded. The reason I pulled you in today, the speed limit's 25 and you were doing 37 miles an hour. Do you have your driver's license with you, ma'am? At home, I have 3 teenage drivers living in my house, so traffic safety is very important to me. I try to instill traffic safety into them as well as other drivers on the roadway to help keep my family and yours safe. My predecessor, Sergeant Mike Lane, started a Traffic Tip Tuesday on Facebook. He would write a traffic tip or an idea that he wanted the public to know about, and it would get posted and shared on social media. Well, since I took over as a sergeant in the traffic unit, we have taken that to the next level. In addition to weekly Traffic Tip Tuesday posts, there's also a Traffic Sergeant Eaton Instagram, Facebook page and an email account where the public can contact me directly with traffic concerns and complaints. These are great ways for the public to interact with me and for me to interact with the public to figure out exactly what we can do to keep Harford County roads safer. In the end, the primary goal of the traffic unit is going to be to reduce fatal and serious car crashes on county roadways. You can help with that by driving smart and driving safe. Leave extra time, wear your seatbelt, don't drive distracted, and never ever drive impaired.
Another major task of the traffic unit is keeping pedestrians safe. Here's Corporal Chris Hennies with some tips.
Hello, I'm Corporal Hennies with the Harford County Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit. Today we're going to be talking about pedestrian safety. So when it comes to pedestrians, when you're walking down the side of the road, there's some things to keep in mind. One of the things to keep in mind is which side of the road to stay on. If there's a sidewalk, please walk on the sidewalk. If there's no sidewalk available, then walk on the side that's opposite of traffic. That way you can keep an eye on the cars that are coming towards you. It's important to note that you should wear bright colored clothing at all times of day if you're going to be walking for great distances. Especially at night though, is a big deal. To make sure you're wearing bright colored clothing so that way you're able to be seen by the other vehicles. If it's at nighttime, maybe take a flashlight with you when you're going out and you're walking your dog or you're just going out for a walk. If you're jogging, maybe something reflective. That's important to keep in mind too as well. A reflective vest is also something to keep in mind, even though not exactly fashion friendly. A couple things to keep in mind too is if a crosswalk is available, use the crosswalk. Also, if there's a crossing guard, pay attention to what the crossing guard is telling you. And also importantly, especially in Bel Air Town and in Aberdeen Town, if there's a crossing sign, if there's any sort of sign, pay attention to what the directions of the sign are telling you. They're there for a reason and they're there to keep you safe. When it comes to drivers, you need to pay attention to a few things. The first one is when you're in a neighborhood, please drive slowly. Pay attention to the speed limit signs, they're there for a reason. Secondly, the pedestrian does have the right of way. I know sometimes it can be frustrating, but you need to pay attention to both the pedestrian and the bicyclist as well. They may not always be wearing the bright colored clothing, but you have to be cognizant of what's around you. If there's a crosswalk coming up, pay attention to who's in that crosswalk and if there's anybody nearby. If there's a crosswalk sign, what is the sign telling them to do? And also, if there's a crossing guard, pay attention to that crossing guard. So hopefully you can follow these safety tips I've given you and make Harford County a safer place. Thank you.
Today, behavioral health issues affect as many as 1 in 5 people, and we have developed a center to provide a single point of contact and access to care if you or a loved one is suffering from a behavioral health crisis. A behavioral health crisis refers to both mental health and/or substance use issues. The very first thing you or a loved one should do if experiencing a behavioral health crisis is call our 1-800 number. This number will connect you quickly to an experienced team of behavioral health professionals who can help you assess your crisis situation and decide what your immediate next steps should be. These steps can include a mobile crisis team visit to your home, coming to the crisis center or setting an appointment for next day assessment, calling for emergency services and going to the closest emergency room, or a referral to another resource in our area. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP when you need help, and please visit our website to learn more information about the services we provide.
Welcome back to Behind the Badge. The sound of bagpipes is unique and often emotional, evoking a sense of solemn reverence and remembrance. And here at the Harford County Sheriff's Office, we have a growing bagpipe detachment of our own. Let's find out more.
Hi, I'm Corporal Brad Sivis with the Harford County Sheriff's Office Honor Guard. I'm part of our bagpipe detachment, and I want to tell you a little bit about bagpipes and their history with law enforcement. They are used to celebrate as well as to honor the fallen. Traditionally, everybody's used to seeing bagpipes at funerals. However, they're used many times to celebrate in 4th of July parades, St. Patrick's Day parades, and other public events. And us as the Honor Guard detachment are looking to expand and be a part of these celebrations as well as the funerals and remembrances that are necessary, unfortunately, as part of the law enforcement career. Bagpipes have had a long tradition with police in general, but for the Harford County Sheriff's Office, there were some previous bagpipers. It sort of fell by the wayside for some time, but in 2018 we started up our actual bagpipe detachment as part of the Honor Guard unit here with the Harford County Sheriff's Office. We're 2 pipers now and 1 drummer, but we're looking to expand that and bring our musical tradition back to the Honor Guard part of the unit. I've played several instruments in my life, and by far, bagpipes is the hardest. It requires not only hand coordination in actually fingering the notes on your chanter, but it requires you to constantly blow to fill up the bag under your arm and then constantly squeeze that pressure out in a steady stream. That's hard enough to do while you're standing still, even harder when you're marching, in step, in time, in a line with other people, and all playing the same song. By far the hardest instrument I've ever seen anyone play. So with the bagpipes being such a difficult instrument, it takes a lot of personal time and dedication to become a bagpiper and to be a part of the Honor Guard's bagpipe detachment. We're not only dedicated to our full-time assignments and the law enforcement in the community, but we dedicate hours upon hours of our own time. They say it takes about 7 years to make a bagpiper. I have well over that amount of time in, and I still don't consider myself a bagpiper. So there's a lot of dedication outside, behind the scenes, that goes into us being able to make this a unit. In my experience with the Harford County Sheriff's Office bagpipe detachment, we get a lot of people at events that we play that come up and say, "That was amazing. I had goosebumps, brought a tear to my eye." And it's that kind of reaction that helps us, kind of motivates us to do what we do, that you see that kind of reaction immediately on people's faces when we perform.
For 39 years, the Harford County Sheriff's Office has sponsored a Christmas drive to help out Harford County residents in need, and this year is no exception. It's another example of our deputies, along with Harford County citizens, going beyond the badge to make our community a better place.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas, Harford County Sheriff's Office, and I'm here to tell you how you can help the citizens of Harford County during this holiday season. This is our 39th year providing food, toys, and winter clothing for over 100 families and 400 kids during the holiday season. Donations we accept are non-perishable food items, toys ages 1 to 14, winter clothing such as hats, gloves, and winter coats, all accepted at our donation drop-off points, which are Harford County Sheriff's Office Headquarters Building, Northern and Southern Precincts. We also accept cash donations, cash or check. Checks made out to Harford Sheriff's Foundation. In the memo portion of the check, Christmas Drive, and they will be accepted at all Christmas Drive drop box locations. All this is made possible through the generosity of the business community and you, the citizens of Harford County. If you'd like more information or you'd like assistance, please give us a call at the number shown. See this empty space? We need to fill it to the roof, and we need your help.
Create your memories in beautiful Harford County, Maryland. Bring the family for a hike at Rock State Park. Have a picnic and hear live music at the world-famous Ladue Topiary Gardens. Or take a run on the Mom Pod Trail. Hi, I'm County Executive Barry Glassman, inviting you to visit Harford.
Now let's check our cold case file. On Sunday, July 13th, 2008, at approximately 11:40 p.m., 21-year-old Tariq Sharif Alston was found shot to death while attending a function at the Joppa Magnolia Firehouse on Mountain Road in Joppa. Detectives continue their investigation into this crime. However, there are currently no suspects. If you have information about this crime, call us or submit an anonymous tip. Well, that's all for today's show. We have more to share with you about who we are, what we do, and how we keep you and your family safe here in Harford County. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram for more information about our agency between episodes. Or take a look at our previous shows through our virtual academy. Until next time, for Behind the Badge, I'm Christy Hopkins.